sure you're not going to like what I'm going to say, but I'm going to say it anyway. Down below is a dog's park, and I can't see a single. It's beautifully manicured, beautifully set into the little slopes of the manicured gardens with lots of herbal plants on there in a specially prepared, specially made. There's a dog's fountain, water fountain just down there. Oh yes. And I've never seen children. When I say I don't see children, I don't see parks as big and manicured and beautifully as these parks for the dogs. For our little young children, well, I would say this would be for young children amongst all those apartments that they could be living in. And for some reason, there are no children running and playing ball. I've been walking down the coast. There are no children playing in the sand, playing in the ocean. But all I see is adults, grown-up men and women in there with their dogs, with brands, the collars, dog collars and dog leashes. They're all in brands, and all those single middle-aged men playing with dogs, not with the children. Where are the children? Are they on the iPad? Are they on the iPhone? Are they on the tablet? Where are they? Of course, this is California, something that has been exported around the world, just like the humble gene of the workman of America. When 50, 60 years ago, the humble gene became the affluence of the world. They exported that out. And then they suddenly start tearing the knee area. And the entire world start tearing the knees. And then suddenly they had a California cap worn the wrong way around, because it seems the sun has already gone by the time they had the hat on, with the little flap for the shade of the sun, of the workmen up on those scaffolding and doing hard work. Anyhow, so we exported that around. Now every corner of the planet, they've got the hat. It's got NY, or it's got some football team or a baseball team from the west coast of America. And then suddenly they start stitching, and then start ripping around here, around, and then start stitching them back on. And then came, you know what I'm going to say, in the 70s, the Starbucks coffee. Everyone's hands were like this. As they step out of the house, they came up with a cup, holding a cup. And then in the 80s, suddenly the water companies start selling water in bottles, and everybody was carrying a bottle. Even when it was minus 2 degrees, they were carrying bottles of water. I've run marathons in the Pacific. I've run marathons at 42 degrees in the Western Sahara. I just had a couple of drops of water on the entire 26-mile track. And anyhow, where are the children? They should be running around with parents in this garden. I see a little kid with a dog on their phone, looking down. This is what we are producing. Humanity. And on Market Street, humans on the street corners. And I just saw at Castro, end of Market, on the intersection between Castro and Market, There was a almost finished. Somebody wasted the chips and vegetable part of it, and they just had the steak. And there was a guy who was just walking past, just grabbed the chips and vegetables and shoved in his mouth, as he hasn't eaten for probably 2 or 3 days. Bare chest, no shoes, and here we have $600, $700, $800, $1,000 dog collars. All their earned money invested in the dogs. Well, yes, if you're keeping an animal, they should be running and doing exercises just like your children should be at their young, tender age. We have to remind ourselves, folks, we are losing the very focus on humanity, and our lives are going to the dogs, it seems. One time it was all part of the God. Now it seems it's all part of the dog's game. The God and the dog has got humanity confused in many ways that we haven't a clue as to where it's heading from now on. Beautiful sunset. Golden Gate Bridge is covered with the low cloud and the mist. That sun that's giving you a celestial and more alert experience of life. You're stuck in those 4 walls in your home with your iPad and a screen glaring into the screen. When you go back home, you'll be putting that big white screen stuck on the wall, staring at the light and sound, emotionally involved in the drama that is being played out. The moment you switch off the television, the light and sound goes. The person sat next to you, lived with you for 40, 50 years, or even 2, 3 years, even for a couple of days, you couldn't even reach out to them and hold and hug them and embrace and say that you are there when needed. As an extension of life, our children should be alert, sharp in their mind, hard in their body, and soft in their heart. Only when you connect with the nature and life that is keeping us all alive instead of destroying. Anyhow, at least we have created space for dogs to exercise, whilst our children are being crippled in front of the television screens and Mickey Mouse clubs, eating plastic food and staring and poking on Candy Crush on a LED screen. Are we heading towards no return? Because human beings should be well organized and well versed in their health and well-being, just as our nature is. Look at these beautiful plants in this groomed garden of the communal space, whilst on the other side, every street corner, there's a desperate human being struggling to survive another day.